Welcome back to the podcast. Let me say something that may not feel good, but it might free you. You are not stuck. You are just repeating. Same thoughts, same reactions, same decisions, and then wondering, why is my life not changing? It's not a mystery. It's a pattern. Most people say, I want a different life. But their day looks exactly the same. They wake up, go to work, say yes to things they don't want, come home tired, scroll on their phone, sleep, wake up, repeat. And then they hope somehow things will improve. No. Life doesn't change because you want it to. It changes when you stop repeating what doesn't work. Let's bring this closer. In Taiwan, there's a silent agreement. Be polite, be responsible, 不要麻烦别人哦. Sounds nice, but look deeper. This creates people who don't speak up, don't push back, don't ask for more, and slowly they disappear inside their own life, their own job, their own family. So let's make this a little bit real. You finish your work, it's time to go home. Then your boss says, hey, can you stay a bit longer? And immediately, inside you, something happens. Not outside, inside. There's a small tension, a small pain, a little bit of hesitation, and then, okay. This is very similar to how I was when I had my own work job in Taiwan. I was doing a English teaching job as when I was still teaching, and most of the time, because of how busy the school was, we had additional projects beyond the normal work that we had to do. I was working at many different places, classrooms for kindergarten and other grades as well. And each of them had their own outside curriculum, which we did not have time to prepare for inside of the working hours. So if you wanted to make something that was outstanding, you either had to come in early or leave late. And this extra time was not paid for. That probably sounds familiar for a lot of us here. And having to say yes again and again, because when signing the contract, it looked like I was just working about 8 hours a day, but there was a secret additional 3 to 4 hours that I had to do to keep up with the school's plan. It wasn't one decision. I want to make that clear. It was a pattern I kept agreeing to until I said, enough was enough. But let's be focusing on you, why you say yes. And let's be honest. And not make this complicated. You don't say yes because you love the work. You say yes because you don't want the discomfort of saying no. That's it. No strategy, no logic, just discomfort. So something going on inside of you and saying something like 不好意思, because you don't want to feel awkward. So you make an exchange, you trade. Long-term frustration for short-term comfort. Now listen carefully. Every time you say yes, when you mean no, you are not just reacting to something. You are telling and training people how to treat you. And worse of all that, you are training yourself what to accept. So next time, it is easier to say yes again and again it doesn't get harder because your mind gets familiar with saying yes to things you don't like. So at first, it's just small things. One late night, one extra task. But life is not built in big moments. It's built in small compulsions, repeated over time. Little actions that you do again and again. So if you're not conscious about what you're doing, you will build a life you never chose. And then one day, you call it responsibility, or your destiny, or another word that's big like that to make you feel like my life is out of my control. Some of you right now, you already know what's coming tonight. Boss says, just a little bit more. 很快, 很快. And you smile. But inside, this is not 快. This is my whole evening gone. So let's bring it together. You feel stuck because your external life is being controlled by your internal habits. Let me make that clear. It's so important. I'm going to repeat it twice. Your external life is being controlled by your internal habits. Not your boss, not your company. Your patterns. You don't need confidence. You don't need motivation. You need one thing. Honesty. Ask yourself this. Where am I saying yes when I mean no? That's it. No philosophy. It's just telling the truth to yourself. Now, don't try to become a new person tomorrow. That's where people fail. They go from yes to everything to I will say no to everything. It doesn't work that way. Instead, just notice the next time it happens, pause for 1 second and say internally, am I doing it again? Am I doing it again? I think I'm doing it again. That is awareness. That's the beginning of freedom. Having that clarity of where you're repeating the pattern first. And then it might complete itself. You'll keep doing the thing. But then after you notice you're doing it, the next time after that one, you'll catch it ahead of time. Kind of like if you imagine you're walking down a street and then you see there's going to be a trap, a big hole right in front of you. Before, you wouldn't even pay attention to the trap. You would just keep walking and whoop, down you go into the trap. And then you have to climb your way out of it bit by bit, and you're tired at the end of it. But now, all of a sudden, you can see this trap even before you walk into it. So, what do? You start to try your best to walk around the trap, freeing yourself from that problem. So I'm going to share something with you. Sometimes when I was changing and becoming more aware of these kind of things, the first thing that I noticed is that I was saying yes to my boss about extra tasks, like taking on more classes, helping more children. And don't get me wrong, I love kids and I love teaching, but I was coming home completely exhausted because I kept saying yes to things. And so the first time I said no was to a small task of doing an additional project that I knew someone else at the school I was in could do. So I had clear way of being able to decline. And my boss was actually pretty okay with that because he knew who else to ask. And then I had an aha moment. I'm not the only one working here. And because I'm not the only one working here, there are more hands, more people that can do the same job. And my boss is coming to me because he knows I am a reliable source. Because I kept on saying yes before, but now I said no. My boss didn't take it personally. He just said, oh, okay, going on to the next person to see if they will be willing to do it. I wasn't losing my job. I wasn't losing a chance of being successful. I definitely wasn't losing a promotion, because we know how slow money promotes in this company and in the world. That instead, I earned something. I earned my own self-respect, my own honesty improved, and then I also gained, most importantly, more energy that day to do the things that I loved. Once you can see what's happening, you are no longer controlled by it. Maybe you still say yes a couple of times, but now it's a choice, not a habit. And slowly that changes everything. So let's be very clear. If nothing changes in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, your life will look the same. Not because you're unlucky, but because Taiwan is limited. Because you kept reacting and repeating. There's no limitations in your luck, and there's no limitations in Taiwan. So if you're serious about changing this, not just thinking about it, I am also thinking about something for you. And it's called Start Now. It's a simple system that I have created to help you break patterns, build clarity, and improve your life step by step. Right now, it's $450 per month. No complexity. It's just a tool that works. And you can find it in the link in the description down below. Or if you're listening to this without able to see in text, it is startnow.I, like ice cream, achievetoday.com/well, that's WELL 18. In future episodes, we're going to be talking deeper about this kind of stuff, because even if you change your actions, your emotions can still control your day. And if you start to become aware of your emotions, you will start to notice that you're going to have a handle on the patterns. And if you don't handle that, well, you know the story. It was great talking to you today. So just remember, you're not stuck. You're just unconscious of what you keep choosing.
Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. If you really enjoyed it, then if you can be one of the very few people who can give us a 5-star review and even tell us about what you liked about the podcast, that would be great if you could do that in the place where you're listening. 谢谢大家。如果你真的很喜欢今天的 podcast 的话，请你们给我们5颗星。这个会让更多人越来越了解台湾要给什么的资料，让他们的生活越来越顺利。感谢。